Get hyped. It's time. On the top left side of the map, represent IXG. The red Zerg, it's Antis. And on the bottom right side of Dreamcatcher, the blue Zerg, it's Kane. So both of these guys are pretty high up on the ladder. I would say that Kane is maybe slightly higher ranked, but honestly, in a best of 3 ZVZ, these guys can both take each other out. I'm fairly certain of that. But Kane is the slight favorite, I'd say. So these overlords are going to cross paths here. The main defender of the game will be Antis at the moment. He did go for the faster hatchery and then the pool. Our aggressor will be Kane, going for the fast speed and not looking like he's going to get a hatchery just yet. Mining a lot of gas as well. Not cutting the gas. Whoops, we need the game sounds. Not cutting the gas either, so likely to have a baling nest to follow, and there it is. So it comes down to these links. Let's see what they can do. Kane is basically an old school guy that came back to the scene not very long ago. He's been training, he's been practicing, from what I know, and he's already, he's already got 2 accounts in top 8 GM, despite being away for a pretty good while. So this guy is a man with experience and skill. All right, so we have a few drones being pulled here. They were more of a transfer, I think, because they're not enough to take care of these lings efficiently. So basically, Antis is just poking and prodding, trying to reduce the damage that this hatchery is taking right now. But a drone, I should say, almost went down. Pretty good save. I think you should pull that red one back. Very, very good hold here by Antis, securing a second base for now until the banelings get here anyways. And I like what Antis is doing. Antis is not letting him get into his banelings too easily, but he does trade inefficiently there. So you know what? That's pretty darn solid for Kane. And these banelings aren't worth detonating just yet, but the 2 queens are basically going to ensure that these banes don't get much done. He might throw one into the spine or something, but nope. Kane is going to play patient, and he's going to save these banelings. He detonates them into nothing instead. That's probably an accident there. But overall, Antis in a pretty good position because this hatch is still up. He just needs to hold it. Just needs to hold the fort. Kane is just getting his hatchery now. The only thing I can say is that Antis doesn't really have any drones on it, so that's a pretty good thing for Kane. Kane is getting a second queen as well for that production. In fact, Kane never got his first queen, so yeah, his production is going to be lackluster compared to Antis's because Antis has 3 queens now and a 4th one on the way. So it's going to be very good defense from Antis. The queens are the answer. They can just create chokes. They can prevent these lings from going up, but they don't. So Kane seizing the opportunity here. Maybe going to get a drone kill or 2. Definitely needs to do something to catch up, but there's no way out for these blue Zerglings, so they need to go for a drone. And a drone is going to be what they get. I think that's about it there for the 3 Zerglings that are left for Kane. So Antis putting himself in a pretty good position this game with the higher queen count, more production potential, and he's going to have a booming economy shortly. So not even an inject yet for Kane. So a little lackluster there on the follow-up, and in fact, he's in trouble. He's got 2 Banes, though. He's got 2 Banes, so he can maybe just barely hold on unless Antis really out-micros him. I think Antis smells blood right now, though, so he's going to chase after that Baneling. He's not going to let the Baneling connect with these lings, and that Bane at the ramp wasn't completed yet, so Antis can still take some efficient trades, loses 4 lings to that Bane. So Kane will end up holding on, though. Alright, so Kane has 4 lings going across the map. He's going to try and poke and prod again, just to assess the situation, evaluate how greedy Antis is being behind all this. He might have wanted to see what this was, but it's pretty standard. 2 Evos and a Roach Warren. Doesn't mean he even needs to use them. They might just be for a wall to get mutas or something like that. On this map, the 2 gas geysers are actually pretty far away from the wall. So what this means is that it can't really get scouted by Kane, and Kane doesn't know if Antis is going to go for like a very greedy gas heavy build or if he's not, right? So if we take a look at the worker count right now, Antis has 33 drones in total. Some of them are being produced at the moment, but 33 drones nonetheless. 5 drones, pretty solid lead here. Going for the lair as well. Kane is doing the same. He's also going for the lair, so he's not too far behind. But this is basically Antis's lead right here. He's going to be able to afford this hatchery, and Kane can't really do anything to stop it just yet. So basically Antis in a very strong position, as I mentioned, and the supply gap is just getting bigger and bigger because the lead that Antis afforded himself was just so early on in the game. It scales so well into the mid game. So now we got a couple queens out here, you know, basically able to block this choke if need be. Ready to spread creep, ready to inject this third base when it goes down. And Kane is taking his third now, so once again, he's just behind, and he's going to slowly claw his way back, but basically he's going to need a great engagement, and it's going to really be hard to get that great engagement when he's still on Ling Bane against a Roach Tech Zerg here. So so we got some Roaches coming out now from Kane. And he does have +1 on the way as well. Antis's +1 attack is almost done, and his +1 armor is about to begin. So basically, to recap there, Kane has +1 missiles on the way, and Antis has +1 missiles and +1 armor on the way. So definite advantage there. Antis just staying ahead the way he should be. And if it comes down to Roach versus Roach, it's going to be very, very difficult for Kane to basically come back when he's an upgrade down. He's going to need the sickest fight ever with the craziest concave ever to take out Antis right now. Albeit worth noting, the supplies are pretty darn even. Antis's supply is basically largely in workers, so the army value of Kane is actually higher than Antis's. So Kane is pretty damn committed to this attack here. And you're going to see a counter push here by Antis with some Lings, killing Kane's Roaches. So very nice to do this with Zerglings. And basically, Antis just needs to survive here, just needs to hold on. And his counter attack will be doing a lot of damage in Kane's natural base. So really, it looks like Antis is going to be able to hold on once his reinforcements get out. As long as he doesn't lose too many drones here, he's going to be in an excellent place. Really nice. Really nice defense by Antis. Really great counterattack by Antis as well. He's killed 8 workers. Kane actually killed more, but this all happened later on. I think Antis's kills were more valuable since they were earlier on in the game. That's the big thing here. So if we take a look at the production tab, +2 missiles coming down for both of our Zergs pretty much at the same time. Antis is slightly ahead. And Kane trying to drone up his third base. Nowhere near as many drones as Antis, though. He's got way more on the way, too. So, you know, Kane could still come back here, but it's going to be tough. He hasn't really taken the +1 armor into consideration yet. And the longer this goes, the worse it's going to be. I really love this. What is this? Contaminate? What is the spell? Is it Contaminate? Is that what it's called? Basically, the research is just halted there for around 30 odd seconds. So pretty nicely done to put that on the right Evo chamber as well. Very observant. Kane trying to come back here any way he can. I like it. He actually, that equalized the research time on the 2-2. So they basically finished at the same time. Not 2-2, but the +2 missiles on both sides, is what I wanted to say. So now Kane has taken into account the armor upgrade, whereas Antis hasn't really gone for the +2 armor. He's stuck on +1 and never really invested on the +2 armor. So we'll see. That should translate to more Roaches for Antis, though. And he's trying to capitalize on that lead now. So this is it. With good micro, Antis should be able to break through, but defender's advantage should equalize things for Kane. So it's going to be tight. It's going to be tight. All right, so Kane microing back here, but the numbers are just too good for Antis at the moment. These trades are just not efficient enough for the blue Zerg. Corrosive Biles are being thrown down. Pretty good micro. Kane is dodging, but the GG is thrown. Antis just got way too far ahead and takes game number 1. GG, well played. Hype. So that was a pretty dang ZVZ, and we have another one coming right up. Perfect. So I got other games lined up too. We're pretty well set now, actually. So we're looking good. We're looking good. Huh. Snowman in the chat says, I need GM, so I should be playing. Why not both? Why not be a GM caster? Why not be a GM caster? We're almost Grandmaster, so, you know, it'll be nice. I can say I got Grandmaster knowledge, right? On my cast, so it's good. And we're the only stream casting this match, so this is pretty good. The next game is starting. I'm gonna update the score, so it's in favor 1-0 in favor of Antis. Hope you guys are hyped. Hope you guys enjoy. Thanks for joining me for WCS Challenger NA Qualifiers. Oh my god, Toasty is hyped as well. Everyone's hyped. Let's get into it. Game number 2 in this best of 3. All right, so the winner of the last round, the Red Zerg, it's Antis. And the Blue Zerg, with the more aggressive opening last game, it's Kane. All right. Someone in chat says I need to yell like a crazy guy. I have moments, but if I were to yell all the time, you wouldn't actually know when I'm legitimately excited. So I like to keep it legitimate. You know, there are moments where things are calm, and there are moments when things are hype. And I try to acknowledge both adequately. Let's go. This should be pretty good because I thought, like I mentioned, right, Kane was supposed to be the favorite Zerg, I'd say. But Antis is putting in work and wanting to qualify here. You know, Kane just came back to the scene, and I'm sure he just wants to qualify for WCS. But Antis is seemingly going to give him a hard time at the very least. So this time, Kane opts for a more standard opening, less aggressive. He tried to test Antis's early game defense, and Antis, he clutched, you know? He did what he had to do to survive. He pulled 4 drones, he defended that Ling attack very well, kept his hatch alive. So then it just came down to, you know, following up properly, and he did. So basically, Kane gonna start off with a more economic opening this game, minimize the risk of losing early, and gonna stretch the game out to late game, and he's gonna test Antis this way. Or that way, this time, is what I wanted to say. So, how's this game gonna pan out? If you guys have any predictions as to who's gonna take game number 2, let us know in chat. Don't be shy. Personally, I think Kane is still the favorite, but you know what? I think Antis can do it. He took game number 1. And I don't see why he can't take another one. But same for Kane, you know, he's a very well-versed player. Losing one game doesn't mean he can't win both the next one, so we'll find out together. Yeah, this is a much more conservative opening this game. Much more conservative opening from Kane. Alright, so we have a third hatch coming down from Kane. We have a third hatch coming out from Antis. Essentially, these builds are more or less identical. I guess Antis is mining a bit more gas than Kane is, and Antis is actually putting some pressure on Kane's third base, so forcing out some lings. Kane was a little greedy about it. So he's forcing out some lings from Kane. And this is pretty nice. Antis is going to be able to run away. So basically, he put that pressure on for free. And Kane making 16 more lings, and Antis going for 6 more drones. So basically, Kane is going to be the one trying to take out Antis' third. Does Antis have a baneling nest? It's about to finish, so he's going to be able, if he makes those lings right now and makes banelings right now, there you go. He's going to be able to probably hold this pressure. But had he not done that, especially he scouted it right after too, so he just knows that these banes are necessary, and Antis is going to do his best to defend this. But that's quite the surround, though, from the blue Zerglings. Antis needs to get on there right away, and it looks like these blue lings are actually going to be able to take this hatchery down. Oh, wow, exactly. The cancel pops at the last second, so pretty nicely done by Kane. Good cancel by Antis. Those banelings were just not in the right position. Weren't able to deny. These banes basically needed to be at the hatchery and ready. So a little bit unfortunate. It was a very good strategy on this map. Kane put it in work right now against Antis. So Antis coming in with the counterattack. Going to go for some drones at the very least. I think that's a wise decision here. He's going to get that one as well. Going to refocus on the hash. It'd be pretty nuts if he somehow got this hash, but he just doesn't have the numbers to do that. But he bruised it up to half HP. You're down to half HP. So pretty nice aggression from Antis nonetheless. Alright, so these banelings from Kane walking across the map. Antis did spot them, so what does he have as an answer? He's got a... Oh my goodness, he wasn't paying attention. Antis wasn't paying attention there. So Kane getting some pretty good value shots, and the lings are swooping in again to get another surround. And with these 2 banelings, Kane is not going to let Antis easily get there to defend it once again. So this third is going to go down, and Antis is stuck between a rock and a hard place right now. So, oh, that baneling could have killed all of Kane's roaches, but Antis didn't pull the trigger there. That was so close from being a toasty shot. Alright, so Kane with the excellent control. He basically made one mistake, and Antis didn't even catch up on it, so that mistake basically never happened. Very nicely done by Kane. Good aggression, killing the third base for the second time. That's pretty significant right here. Pretty significant indeed. So, look at this. Antis is going to respond by taking another hatch. So Antis is actually going for a 4th hatch. And the thing is, this isn't a mystery to Kane. Kane sees all of this with his overlords. So he's gonna Kane should be responding with a lot of aggression, but right now it's Antis that's being the aggressor, trying to, you know, hurt Kane's economy, trying to kill some drones. The drone count right now is actually relatively close. Like, Kane only has a 6 drone lead, but that's because he's been investing in his army. You know, the army value for Kane is absolutely massive. And these roaches are going to be able to put in work. He's just waiting on his upgrades. Roach speed, +1 range missiles, I should say. So that's what Kane is waiting on. The only thing that's really working in Antis' favor is that he's got +2 missile attacks already on the way. So let's say that Kane waited long enough for Antis to get his +2 missiles up. Then maybe Antis would be able to hold this. But honestly, the sheer numbers that Kane is going to bring with him should be the nail in the coffin here for Antis. Basically the reversal of last game. And despite taking the 4 hatches like this, Antis is the aggressor here. Even though his numbers aren't as strong as Kane's, Kane is going to go for the counterattack here with the lings. It's only like 5 lings, so the queen and this ling actually... Yeah, it's not going to be enough. There you go. The roach comes out. 1 HP, 6 HP to be precise on this queen, so that was pretty close. So Kane is pushing into Antis right now. This is a lot of army. Over double the army supply of Antis is what Kane has right here. So Antis is in trouble. He's gonna have to do the play of his life right here to hold this one. Let's see how he does it. If he does it, let's go. We got some corrosive biles going down. I think one of these hatcheries is just a sacrificial hatchery to buy time and extra production. Like, I don't think he minds losing one of these 2 hatcheries. That's the thing. So this could be a pretty good play from Antis. Beautiful surround, though. There are queens here. There are corrosive biles as well. trying to get some shots off, and the Roaches do move away. Reinforcements coming in, though, from Kane, getting a pretty crazy concave, shoving his units onto Antis's, and the GG is thrown. Kane takes game number 2. GG. So yeah, Kane is bringing it to a 1-1 and bringing us to our 3rd game from these two. So that's pretty nice. We got another series on our hands. We've had tight series. It's like a lot of 1-1s turning into, you know, a real final match. We've only had 1 2-0, I believe. Or actually, no, we've had 2 2-0s. Yeah, we've had 2 out of like 5 games. So it's pretty good. Tight series indeed. So let me just update the scores. It's now 1-1. We should get an invite shortly for the last game. Things are hype. I see some pretty nice remarks in the chat. Fakehouse says, he says, Antis, that's my boy. And we got Paint Freak saying, you're my hero, David. David for president. Thank you, man. Thank you, bro. I don't know if you mean it, but thank you. All right, so we got our next game right here. I appreciate the kind words, guys. Y'all are great. So this is a team kill. Both of these guys are in the same clan, actually. All right, so we got this game on the way. Game 3 between Kane and Antis. Now I'm wondering if they practice with each other since they're in the same clan. I'm sure they know a little bit about each other, ZVZ, being in the same clan and facing each other on the ladder. So let's get into our next game. Thanks for hanging out, everyone. All right. The score is tied 1-1. The Red Zerg. On the top right side of Lost and Found, it's Antis. And on the bottom left side of Lost and Found, his clanmate, the Blue Zerg, it's Kane. So that's what IXG is for. It's for Infinity Gaming. Now I know. I saw it right here. So, are these guys going to play the macro game again? Are they confident in doing so? I feel like Kane was like almost guaranteed to do that again because his cheese just didn't work and his macro did work. Whereas Antis has been playing the same game 1 and game 2. So, I mean, it wouldn't really surprise me that he's doing this again. Could have been cool for him to switch it up a little bit, especially if he's not really used to cheesing too much against Kane. Maybe he could have, he could have thrown a curveball his way or something. But in the end, we have a standard game, or standard opener at the very least, coming out from these two Zergs. All right. So we got our mining going down on both sides. First thing we want to see is if they cut gas or not, if they want to commit to an attack or not. Always the big tell. But this matchup being ZVZ, they only have overlords to really scout each other, and they don't really get to see the extractors. They don't really get to see whether or not the opponent is cutting gas. Basically what these overlords see is how many Zerglings are leaving the base, or what's leaving the base. Is a third base going down? Stuff like that. They could also maybe see gases being taken on the sides here on this map. Whereas I think it was on Dreamcatcher, the gases were like tucked away, so overlords couldn't even catch those either. So we have really, really identical builds coming out of these two. Antis is like, I was gonna say he's one worker ahead, but now Kane is a worker ahead. It's literally the same opening. There isn't much of a difference here. So here's the big difference. Antis is coming across the map with these 4-lings. Kane took a third base and he's defending it with 4-lings, so it's not really going to be an issue for him. Antis reciprocates with his own base as well. So very, very, very similar builds, guys. These guys are twins, separated at birth, and they're like, their brains are just programmed the same way. They're just doing the same thing. They're mirrors of each other. 4-lings chasing 4-lings. 3 hatches versus 3 hatches. Baneling versus Baneling. Creep tumor and creep tumor. Guys, they're the same person. So in all seriousness, we do have some Banelings being made here. Defensive Banes from Antis, just respecting the possibilities. His overlords do catch some links coming out across the map, so he knows the aggression is on its way. But he has a little bit of time because I almost called Kane Bane. Kane is morphing in some Banes. So yeah, that just bought Antis a little bit of time to defend, but it's going to be hard to defend those. He really needs to get in there ASAP, and he doesn't want to get caught by those Banelings, wherever they may be. Here they are. Okay, so Kane almost catching him off guard there, but Antis taking a pretty good trade and not losing his third base the way he did the first game, so pretty nicely done here by the Red Zerg. Valiant attempt by Kane. So we have 10, 12 lings, 8 left still being produced here. Lots and lots of lings coming out from Antis. His worker count is actually 4 workers ahead of Kane, and his army value is ahead of Kane's. So now I'm trying to just establish, like, what's Kane's advantage? Like, Kane's making roaches right now, so that's pretty good. But Antis is the one getting range upgrade already for the missile attack, +1 missiles. So basically, Antis is going to be able to transition into roaches pretty nicely because of his upgrade, but Kane is going to have the better numbers in terms of the... Oh no, oh, that connection. Okay, that is toasty. Kane did it. He got the toasty shot he needed. That one Baneling just changed the game in its entirety. Very well done by him. That clutch Bane shot. I couldn't say anything else besides toasty. That if you don't know what toasty is, you do now. That was it. So very nice connection there. Antis must be kicking himself because he really needed those lings alive. Yeah, he doesn't want to trade those lings, but those Banes, but he doesn't really have a choice now. Because, yeah, they're going to die either way. So Kane coming on an upswing here. Antis trying to get some roaches out, but he's really still focusing on the lings, even though he got +1 attack. I guess the lings were just already out or out faster than the roaches, so that's sort of fine. Pretty good surround here, and that Baneling doesn't really get a connection. Okay, so Antis does not want to let any Banes connect with his lings. Lots of Banes versus Banes, explosions everywhere. But Kane looking like he's taking a really good concave here. Will the defender's advantage of Antis be enough? He does even have a spine crawler coming up. Antis doing everything he can to survive. He's actually still ahead in supply against Kane, but that's not army supply, that's worker supply. So I would think he'd have to pull some drones or something to survive here. Or if not, just godly transfuses. I mean, that spine crawler did the trick. Antis holding on. Really, really nice here by the Red Zerg. Impressive hold indeed. Kane is now on the run. And secondly, Antis prepared for this moment, right? He's the one with the +1 missile upgrades, right? So in this situation, I feel like Antis could actually do a lot of damage. But it all depends on this. Are these lings going to be able to get something done? I mean, pretty decent trade from Kane. He still has a little bit of lings left, but the reinforcements look like they're going to be able to clean up the blue lings. Mighty fine. And now we got the engagement about to begin, but Antis did not decide to commit to it just yet. Kane definitely has some numbers there. I feel like if Antis realized that Kane just started his +1 missiles, he'd be very happy. But right now it's a bit of a question mark. He knows he doesn't have it right now, but he could be suspicious that Kane might have +1 finish by the time the fight starts. So we'll see if Antis evaluates the situation properly. He's trying to catch Kane out of position with a ling run by. I really like this. But these Banelings, you know, could have had a pretty sick connection there. But Antis on the ball with his reactions for the most part. Alright, so Kane is going to swoop around here. And I was going to say they might encounter these roaches, but the roaches are going back home, so I guess not. And Antis is fully aware of these links. He's got a whole lot of roaches to take care of him. I feel like Kane is pushing into a fight that he doesn't want to take. And as you can see, he's going back home. This Overseer is getting a good scout. And we got this Ling run by here from Antis. Oh, but the Bane Lings take care of all the Lings. So once again, a very, very toasty defense by Kane here. Very nice. So a lot of back and forth this game. Every time Antis takes the lead, there's always that one Baneling that's getting him right now. So I think if he's just a little bit more careful, just a little teeny weeny bit, he's going to be okay. But then again, you know, in the grand scheme of things, +2 missiles are about to finish for Antis. Kane just got his +1. He's starting his +2 now, but that's going to leave a solid 45-second timing at the very least for Antis to just go ham on Kane, who will have lesser upgrades than him. And plus, let me just tell you guys, Antis does have the +1 armor as well. So 2 out of 3 games here, Antis has just been really on top of his upgrades, you know, in contrast to Kane, who's been a little bit lackluster, lagging behind in the upgrade department here. He was focusing on the numbers, but as you can see, the upgrades tend to scale well, or better, throughout the game here. So this is when Antis wants to shine, but these Biles are pretty nice. They're doing a lot of damage here. Kane taking a pretty solid fight, but Antis getting the surround. This is when things get dangerous. He doesn't want to eat too many Biles, though. Kane has to land those Biles, though. These roaches are just getting in Kane's face. He doesn't want to let that Bile get a central mass shot. They do, though. But it won't be enough. It looks like Antis is breaking through Kane right now. And it looks like he might knock Kane out of the WCS Challenger Qualifiers. So there are attacks at the main, there are attacks at the natural. There are a lot of roaches being rallied here, and even being sent to the 3rd and the 4th. So Antis is everywhere right now. The attack in the main hasn't even been cleaned up yet. So Antis is going to jump on top of this 4th base, but I think he wants to trade roaches for roaches first of all. So that's pretty nice. And this little task force here was trying to get some drone snipes as well. Pretty good defense from Kane, actually, but he is going to lose his 4th base. And Antis needs to kill it, right? Because he's still on his 3rd. So these roaches are just baiting away 5 roaches of Kane, right? So this makes Antis even stronger in this main fight here. And in fact, I really love the surround that Kane is getting, but Antis with the 2-1 upgrades. +2 is just finishing now for Kane, so too little too late. GG is thrown. And Antis moves on to the next round. Kane is eliminated. Wishing him good luck. Pretty good game, guys. Pretty nice indeed. I'm loving it.